So, going to the high school job fairs is an interesting adventure to say the least. Dealing with teenagers and kids in high school that are really, in a lot of ways, not always certain of what it is they want to do. Some are, but I've found it to be very few, and they're looking for something to capture their attention. What we've learned and what I've learned personally from doing a few of these myself is first and foremost, you got to bring donuts. Like at the end of the day, kids are attracted to sugary things and anything you can to get them to your booth. Okay, a little bit of a joke, but it'll definitely bring them in. But more importantly, it's really thinking about what are the things that are within your industry that could be something that a young teenage person would be attracted to. So, like for us in the HVAC refrigeration trades, we've got electronic circuit boards, we've got mechanical valves, we've got compressors, all these things. You can't bring it all, but one of the most interesting pieces is a circuit board is going to attract some kids to want to say, hey, what does that thing do? Um, a TXV. It looks like something off of a spaceship for people who've never seen one before, and it gets kids wondering what does that do. And so if you bring a couple of handful of small components along with you to capture their attention, and you're not going to get them all, you'd be doing great if you get two or three to come to your booth and really talk. It's a big way to really give them an opportunity to see what the potential looks like. Now, also, we've learned from doing these in the past, it's important to bring somebody along or even just have the person there, a younger generation of technician or whatever it is you're trying to attract. Um, Us older guys that have been around a little while aren't the ones that these kids want to come talk to. So it's important to bring some of your young and shining stars there that are excited about what they do every day, and they can get these kids excited, and they're more apt to talk to somebody who's closer to their age. So really important to think that through and find the right ambassador from your team to have there or just be there in your stead, and they will do a great job for you. Just give them clear direction on what they need to do, which is talk about what you love about this industry, right? And that will be infectious and that will help lure people in and get them really thinking about the trade and what the opportunities look like. Once you've got them there, then you can certainly talk about the opportunity for, great, a great career path. There's so many people that have built wonderful careers in this industry. The sky's the limit. You can go wherever you want to do it. And it's that you get paid extremely well. One of the highest paid skilled trades in the industry, or in any industry for skilled trades, is in refrigeration and HVAC. And when you talk about critical path and things that, if you're talking about refrigeration, like what we do, it's always in demand. It's always going to be there. Pandemic, no problem. Recession, no problem. We've got to keep the food cold, right? So it's a great thing to consider. And even then, while you're talking to them about those opportunities and the fact that they can go anywhere, make all kinds of money, and the job's always going to be there, we can talk about the idea. Look, not all kids are made for college, and that's okay. Higher education is a wonderful thing for the right people, but it's not for everybody. And not everybody learns sitting in a classroom. And the trades are a great way for kids to get engaged and build a career that they can be proud of. And the opportunity for long-term investment, retirement, that sort of thing, you get a head start when you can skip 4 to 6 years of college and start investing in yourself over that time period versus or into a 401(k) versus into a college debt that you're going to be paying off for who knows how long. Again, if it's what works for you, then it'll be great. And the trades are certainly something that are great for a lot of people.
Did you know that the trades are crucial for the community around us? A lot of people don't know how impactful the HVAC and refrigeration industry is. Without the refrigeration and air conditioning industry, we would not have pharmaceutical goods that get transported across the country safely, especially during pandemics. We would not have perishable foods that can travel across the world. We wouldn't have the creature comforts of air conditioning in our home. We wouldn't have biomedical laboratories that function in ultra low temperature environments. And the industry is so much fun. We have chemistry, we have mathematics, we have engineering. So when we're talking to young students, it's important that we talk about the impact that we have to the environment and the world around us. It is the HVAC and refrigeration industry that spends much of the time keeping life sustainable and working at ways to become more sustainable in protecting our environment and our energy conservation going forward. So when we're talking to our young students, have fun with it. Be a little introductory. Do some experimenting. We can do chemistry live. We can do activities that show them how much fun we actually are, and that we get to experience a lot of interesting things and have a major impact to not only our community, but the world around us. So I encourage you to interact, have fun, and show how important we actually are. It's very important that we use visual tools to represent what our industry is and the ways that we actually work with the sciences. We can actually show with the periodic table of elements that we actually work with 4 primary elements to create the chemicals that we know as refrigerants, and that we can manipulate those refrigerants in different ways to create the things that we know as air conditioning and refrigeration. There are a variety of hands-on introductory examples that we can use. But we can show that we're using science and technology, we're using math, we're using engineering, and we are also chemists. So some of those classes that they may think are cool might not understand that they could be using all of those cool, fun things on a daily basis in the HVACR trades.
It's tactile work. You're working with your hands and you're working with your brain. So it's not you're not shoveling, right? So it's not just pure physical. It's a kind of a combination of reasonably difficult physical environment because it's outside, it can be hot, it can be cold, whatever it is. And then also it's a fairly intellectual job. So there's a technology component to this business as the systems advance and operating systems and controls and all those things advance. It's a pretty intellectual job. So it has a wide spectrum of requirements or capabilities necessary to do the job. So it's challenging. So people like that, the compensation is really solid. So you can immediately start making money, and you don't have to pay for your education. And then when you think about it, those are really important factors for folks that are thinking about what do I do for my career and how do I get there? You get the education for free, you get paid while you learn, and you make really good money over time, and you also get to engage in activities that you like. So once again, you have to like working on site, you have to like being in the build environment. If you like to build things, if you like to repair things, if you like to work with your hands and work with your brain at the same time, it's the right trade for you. And it's for a specific group of people, but compensation's important. Not having to pay for school is pretty important too.